This shirt that I'm wearing is literally brand new and also literally 22 years old. How's that possible? I got this at Bumbershoot this year. Actually, my really good friend Matt Spencer bought it for me. Thank you, Matt. Big Seattle Music and Arts Festival, if you don't know what it is. It's a cool story about this. So this is from the 2001 Bumbershoot that happened September 3rd, 2001, like a week before 9/11. I actually have my original shirt from that year, so I kept this. I don't know if it will show up, like the detail will show up, but I mean, it's really ratty. I don't wear it. I just kept it because it's cool, and this was kind of like in a pivotal time in my life. Well, that's kind of cool to see it side by side. Wow. This was right before 9/11, and aside from it being a really great year for the festival, had some great artists that year. I guess I was 20. I hadn't yet turned 21. I was about to. It was this big pivotal time in my life where I had studied bass with Steve Kim here in Seattle, set myself up to be a studio musician in Los Angeles. I thought that still kind of existed in the way that it did in the 80s and really prior to that. Which, spoiler alert, it doesn't so much anymore. Everything is pretty much remote. You don't have to be in a specific place in order to do the actual work. However, networking is very important. Subject for another time. I had said all my goodbyes and I had packed up like half of the stuff that I owned and had it shipped down to LA. I found this apartment on a website and I'd never seen it. There were no pictures of it or anything, but I was just like, screw it, I'm going to LA. And then I packed the other half of the stuff that I owned in my car. I was about getting ready to go down there. So I went to the festival like I always do and had a great time, and it was awesome. Shortly after that, I had my sort of like goodbye dinner with my family and everything. And I've got a great photo from that where you can see like the date. It's like an actual film photograph, of course, because that's what we used then. And it had a little date in the corner, 9/10/01, September 10th, 2001. So the morning after that, I woke up and I was staying at home actually. It was right before I had left on that trip to drive down to LA from Seattle. And my mom burst into my room at like 7 in the morning and said, "We're under attack." It's the craziest thing to hear. So just a crazy time in my life and all of our lives that were around then. So it was just this big pivotal period for me where I was kind of leaving college to go move to another place and do this thing that I was really interested in. All these emotions, all these things sort of happening, and the huge like national catastrophe and the fallout from that. And it's just a crazy period. And this shirt kind of somehow came to represent that moment in my life, that sort of time, the complex series of emotions. And it was really complex. And about the LA thing, I moved down there. The place didn't work out. It was way deep East LA. I had no idea. Kind of had a breakdown there, freaked out, and I was like, I can't stay here. I don't know what to do. All of my stuff is either in my car or on a pallet at the airport. I don't know what to do. Ended up staying with a friend, a very good friend from high school who just treated me really well while I was there. Stayed for like 2 weeks, did a lot of fun stuff, and came back and never tried to move down to LA again, and in the end kind of didn't really need to in order to do what I wanted to do. Getting back to the shirt and everything, it became like sort of a symbol for that whole period of my life and all the complex emotions and being in your early 20s and the crazy shit that was happening in the world and in the US and just all of that stuff all rolled into one. So this shirt, how is it new and old at the same time? Okay, so that's the cool thing. We're at Bumbershoot this year, and it's a wonderful return back to sort of the more bohemian, more artsy thing that Bumbershoot used to do, which is really, really great. I really appreciate how it has gone back to that from the terrible AEG years, which were just insufferable. I'm with a couple of friends, and we're looking at like art from the last 50 years. They have show posters and all this stuff, and then they have these racks of t-shirts, and they look like this. So I'm like, okay, cool. They reprinted a bunch of these shirts from the various years, and they're all separated by size, but not really by year. And I saw this one in my size, and I was like, oh shit, I have that shirt from that year. I had a lot of those shirts actually from the years that I saw, but this one as I mentioned, was always kind of special to me. We went up and I was talking to the clerk and I was like, oh man, it's so cool that you guys like reprinted these things. I had this shirt, like I was at that festival when it was happening and I bought the shirt then. I was like, oh yeah, no, we didn't reprint them. These are all from those years. They've been in boxes. We've stored them. It was actually a big pain in the butt to get them all out and available. And that just blew my mind. I was like, no way. This is, I mean, this is the first time that I'm wearing this shirt right now. It's the first time. I mean, it is perfectly, absolutely like pristine. I don't know how to show. I don't know the best way to show how a shirt is new, but I mean, it's just totally brand new. Again, comparison. Original, old shirt, new hotness. All right, so anyways, that was just super cool. So it was kind of like reclaiming a bit of my personal history, like a bit of my past. And I just thought that was kind of fun and might make for a somewhat interesting story. And I don't know, thought maybe a couple of you folks out there might be interested in it. So thanks for letting me blab on and tell you all about my Bumbershoot shirt. And if you haven't been to a Bumbershoot yet, I hope you have the chance to experience one. See you guys. Have a good week.